Hey, I didn't try to put that one on. I put on a different one. I wanted this one. There we go. Okay, so you have some background to why the video looks like this. I'm walking in the rain in Osijek, Croatia, to my yoga class, and it's raining, and that's how I'm walking in the rain, if you didn't catch that. And I was just thinking that I should explain a little where I come from. I've been adding a lot of new folks lately, and what I do is a little bit cryptic seeming sometimes to people when they first come around. I used to say I'm the garbage man of the soul, hauling out the tension, trash, and the fake suffering. So the tension from the body, the fake suffering from the mind. But this will give you a little bit more raw and real background. So as you see from the headline, I used to be a weak-ass beta male until I ... and this video is the answer that fills in the ... So I used to be a weak-ass beta male. Let's get into that a little bit. Basically, I gotta cross the street here. I don't know, maybe most of my life kind of like a mommy's boy. My dad wasn't around that much when I was a kid, and when he was, it wasn't the greatest time. I've come to peace with all of that since then. I have a good connection with him, and I understand, forgiveness and that everyone's just a human. So, none of that stuff really makes that big of a difference, but anymore in my life. But being raised by my mom primarily, it was like I learned to become a victim. And what I mean by that is I was a victim of my circumstances. So any problem I had in life, like when I couldn't make money or I couldn't do a job or I couldn't keep a relationship together, I'd always blame someone else. I'd always blame other people or the government. That was the one for 10 years. I was blaming the government or blaming anybody else besides myself. So then I kind of went on a quest. My first quest was trying to attack the system, fight the man, which was a lot of fun. It was a lot of crazy adventures, but ultimately it really leads nowhere. And only person I was fighting was myself. But again, it was fun. I hitchhiked around. I did crazy things. I enjoyed living that life. But at some point I realized it was futile. And then still being a total beta male, I was blaming someone else for my issues, but I thought, I must be fucking missing something. I must be missing something about the way reality works because it just doesn't make sense. Why am I fighting everything? And why am I blaming everyone else? I was constantly blaming, complaining, angry, and upset. If not on the outside, on the inside. Full of anxiety and all this. And then once I got a little bit older, I started reading all about the occult and magic and mysticism and meditation and Freemasonry and Buddhism, anything I could get my hands on, literally anything. I had probably 2,000 or 3,000 books at the height of that seeking madness. And after a while, it started to become apparent, like most of this is just new vocabulary. Most of this is just new ways of pretending like I found a solution, or like pretending like I'm different, but the inner experience I was having of life was staying exactly the same, even though I had new ways of describing it, new ways of pretending among other people that it was having results. So I wasn't satisfied with that, and I kept going and going and going. At some point, I stumbled into this radical undoing stuff. I found a book, and I started doing the exercises in it, because I guess that was what differentiated me from most people I knew in that world. I tried out every experiment I could get my hands on. There were many, many books and many exercises that were very great, but nothing had hit me as profoundly as the radical undoing. Hopefully you can understand me. I'm walking along the street where you can see there's cars and stuff going by, but bear with it. It's reality. If we were walking down the street together, you'd hear the same sounds. So just deal with it. But So then I found that Radical Undoing book, and it was amazing. It blew my mind. So I was a weak-ass beta male victim, an inner victim, blaming everyone else, blaming circumstances, blaming life, reality, for everything I couldn't accomplish on my own. I never even tried to accomplish anything. I just grew up blaming and complaining. So then, fast forward through all that stuff I just mentioned, that whole quest, and I ended up finding that Radical Undoing stuff. I didn't even know why I was doing it in the first place, just to feel better, to feel okay, to become a magic wizard or have power or something. But after a while, I practiced, and eventually it started to crack my fake-ass personality. And that was scary when that happened. When I was working alone at first, and then I got in touch with the author of the book, and then I ended up helping him with the DVDs. I was in the Radical Undoing DVDs as a student. And then later, when my teacher, Dr. Christopher Hyatt, when he died, I went and finished that DVD series with the publisher. And since then, I've put out literally thousands of hours of training on Radical Undoing, and then on what I call Art of NGF, which is all the other stuff you can add into it, which all amounts to what I call transcendence. So that's sort of a short version. That was many years to accomplish that. And I worked with lots and lots of other people after I had accomplished that for myself. Now, of course, I still do that Radical Undoing stuff every single day for myself, and then with clients also every single day. And then most recently, I'm putting together a Radical Undoing 4-week intensive. Some of you might know about that. But, oh, hey, Gusto, I was thinking of you the other day, and I was looking for Chris on the... Anyway, I'm glad to see you there. I forgot your handle. Anyway, I digress. So yeah, I was total weak-ass beta male, and then I found Radical Undoing, and I undid all these tensions in my body that were there my whole life. And suddenly I realized, holy shit, I have a body. And not only that, but it's amazing to have a body. It's absolutely amazing to have a body and to just be in existence, to just exist at all. That alone is outstanding. So from there, everything else becomes possible. Because there's no such thing as failure. There's no such thing as quitting. There's no such thing as, a problem. There's just life. And then you try and you experiment with stuff and see what happens. So if it doesn't go how you expect, who gives a shit? It's a fucking adventure. So that's really what I put into all the trainings. I call it like the threefold path to transcendence, which is come home to the body, end the fake suffering of the mind, or to say that in a positive way, become a celebrationist, and then finally embrace life as an unending adventure. Embrace life as an endless adventure. So that's the whole thing. And like I said, and it's possible for women to be kind of betas as well. All that means is you're a victim, blaming circumstances, blaming men, blaming other people, blaming everything in the world for what's going on in your life. But once I broke apart my fake ass personality and wasn't addicted to suffering any longer, then I could actually start trying and doing things and really excelling in my life. But also not caring if I failed or not caring if something doesn't go my way. It doesn't matter. I've failed at tons of things. I've created whole courses that no one ever took.